So I made this call to action last week. A call to action to the community of people who are on a path of consciousness, a path of love. And it has brought a lot of response. I've had a lot of personal messages. I've had a lot of response, different kinds of responses. And things in the meantime, with all of these responses, become clearer and clearer and clearer to me. My truth becomes clearer to me. And one thing that I notice on my own journey of consciousness, on my own journey of becoming more me, more authentic, more in my truth, more in my love, is this flow between the masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang, the light and the dark. And I often talk about it in the masculine and the feminine. And my work is based around coming back into the body, coming back into the feminine, the flow, the presence, the interconnectedness, the sensations, the sensual, that feminine energy that lives inside of all of us. And I feel especially called because of living in the Western world, which is highly driven by the masculine energy, this head energy, this analytical, this straight line, linear, focused kind of energy that also lives in all of us. And there's not one energy that's better than the other at all. We need that balance, but there is not much of a balance. We organize ourselves in that masculine, and a lot comes through that. And I found more and more in my work how to create safe spaces for people to dive deeper into their feminine. And in relation to this call to action, then I see, like, if I zoom out a bit, and this is also with like conversations I've had that's triggered like more clarity around, I've often said that, I'm working a lot with the body and with dance and with movement, primal movements, this Afro movement, the Caribbean inside of me that wants to come out. And I see this like the settling in the hips, the settling in the pelvic bowl and the womb space, but also shaking and coming back into the bones, coming back into the blood, and that this body is a portal for the soul. And when I get invited and I teach within different spaces where people are working more and operating more from the masculine, the frequencies of peer, and even approaching the spiritual world like that, the consciousness world like that, then although we're both on a path to get to the same life force, the same love within, the same truth, the same authenticity, the unfolding, my experience within the spaces has been, although there's use of body, there's almost like once I achieve that expansive state, that ecstasy, that bliss, there's a denial of body, there's a denial of any pain that comes out after that, because somewhere maybe it's assumed that it doesn't, that they're not doing a good enough job, that they have to continue that healing and then get in a cycle of healing, so that there's this desire for escape away from, and a disconnect then again from the body, or a rejection of a body on some level, and not the ability to really sit with that pain. Be in that pain and find the freedom through the bones, the blood, the shadow, and to be and sit in that shadow, to be in that death, to be in that rawness and sitting there and see what it has to show you to, that darkness within. And my experience has been in watching people want to go from this space into my call to action. And the call to action is to look deeper. Go into your bones. Find the discomfort. Be with it. Breathe through it. Watch how it moves. Watch how it translates. Sit with it. There is no 1, 2, 3-step plan and then your environments are going to be diverse. It is starting with you. It starts with you, and you all know that. You all know that. There's no quick fix. There's no quick fix. There's no changing the surface if you're not gonna do the work and sit with it for a while. And so there's an immediate eruption of wanting to act right now, and that's the masculine energy. It wants to action. Wants to action. Let me take action and do something, post something, share something, and there is a need to take action, but it's to go into the feminine. It's to go into the body. It's to go into the bones. It's to go into the blood. It's to go in and face yourself. Face yourself on where this is really affecting you. Face any blindness. Question that. Talk to people. Talk to people, listen to voices, and notice what's happening inside of you. If you don't understand anything that's going on these weeks, that's an invitation. If you think it really has nothing to do with you, that is the invitation. And the invitation is not to action right away, not to go and be like, okay, I woke up and now I'm joining the fight. Join the fight by educating yourself first. Like, join the fight by really breathing into what's going on inside of you, because you can only heal through your own work. And that healing will then spread because you will already be changing. And you know this because you do it in other aspects. If you've done anything on becoming more conscious of yourself, you know this. And sometimes it's messy and there are mistakes. There are mistakes. And yeah. And there's a complex reaction even from my side as well, from the emotional side in response to this, because I haven't announced myself like this on a bigger scale. And so it's weird to receive all the different mirrors on how my communication lands and where I can be clearer in being me.